Hey, I'm Amanda from Trifecta Fitness. We're proud to be Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
Hello, my name is Damon Friedman, co-founder and president of SOF Missions. As a 20-year veteran within Special Operations, I've gone through many challenges due to my military service and time in combat. We felt called to start SOF Missions to serve our fellow brothers and sisters in arms, focusing on suicide prevention and resiliency. Our mission at SOF Missions is to empower warriors to find purpose and be resilient. Since 2011, when we started the organization, almost 3 million men and women have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the scars of war take a toll on their psychological, physical, social, and spiritual health. Many veterans feel a sense of hopelessness and a loss of purpose when they return to civilian life. They feel isolated and alone, unable to reconnect. And in the greatest of tragedies, over 20 veterans lose all hope and take their own lives. Our goal at SOF Missions is to provide veterans the tools and resources so that they don't become a statistic. We offer a unique approach to combating veteran suicide through a whole health, intradisciplinary model. The Be Resilient program is a 4-pillar methodology that addresses the areas of psychological, physical, social, and spiritual wellness. We provide care through 3 delivery methods: medical clinics, retreats, and educational training. Since we started back in 2011, we have been able to reach veterans in all 50 states and have served over 3,000 veterans through the Be Resilient program. Being resilient is a multifaceted and complex issue. We know that to find a lasting solution, we have to address the whole warrior. Many challenges cannot be solved by providing the treatments and modalities of just one component, but by tackling them all. Now, we've expanded our services to include law enforcement and first responders. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of warriors across the nation. To learn more, visit our website at sofmissions.org.
Proceed to your post assignment. All units proceed to your post assignment.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation. The Misfit Nation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience need to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, Let's get to the show.
All right. The ToosDay Crue is here, hosted by Stephen LaMonica and Jake Holland. It is a Misfit Nation production that brings powerful stories of grit, resilience, and leadership to life. Stephen is a business leader and YouTube consigliere. He ensures the show runs smoothly, providing real-time feedback and maintaining discipline during live broadcast. Jake, a 25-year Army veteran and former EOD tech. We call him Hurt Locker. We call him Lacey. Offers deep insights from his extensive service, which includes multiple combat deployments and VIP missions around the globe. Together, they welcome guests from diverse backgrounds to share their journeys, inspiring listeners with stories of overcoming adversity and leading with purpose. Whether you're tuning in for the insightful discussions, or to enjoy Steven's passion for NASCAR, or Jake's anecdotes from his farm in Kentucky, the ToosDay Crue delivers a unique blend of entertainment and inspiration every week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ToosDay Crue. All right. It's Tuesday. Tonight we have one bit of homage to let out there for you. Deputy Sheriff Hector Cuevas Jr., San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, California, End of Watch, Monday, March 17th, 2025. Let's keep him, his family, his friends, his peers, and his community in your thoughts and prayers. The suspect has been caught. It was a vehicular hit and kill. Suspect was in a stolen vehicle. Surprise, surprise. So now, as we sit here, we know it's time. Woo! Oh, hell yeah, brother! I have climbed the highest peaks in Afghanistan and Korea. I've seen the awesome valleys below, but right now, all I see are the ToosDay Crue, Cagney, and Lacey getting ready to rock the airwaves. And so join me in pulling down those shoulder straps and get ready to rock tonight. Boys, it's time to get it on.
Hey,
Ding, 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 ding. Welcome.
welcome. Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening. How are you?
I am good. It's just another fine Tuesday here in Kentucky. Got the windows up, got a nice breeze blowing through the house, and got 55 eggs, I do believe, from the chickens today. So they're back up to producing it in top form.
That's a couple grand on the side of the road. So,
Yeah, no kidding. I got a gold mine.
yeah, I think it's probably better than selling, cocaine right now. You're probably making more money.
Probably so. How's your day been?
Well, until like 5 minutes ago, it was, iffy. A little here, a little there. 5 years ago, my brother-in-law passed. 5 years ago, my uncle passed. Today, my aunt passes. I just got a message.
Sorry to hear that.
All
brother.
on the same damn day.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah, well, she's been sick. She's old.
Our prayers will be out to the families. Hey,
Yes.
what do you say we kick this off?
Would you like to?
Yeah. Hey, tonight we have a veteran, an author, a mountain climber, and the former president of MTV Networks, all in one guy.
All in one guy.
Yes, his name is Douglas Greenlaw. He is a #1 best-selling author on Amazon, and he's got a book. It's his life story. It's called Forged in Lightning. We're going to talk about that book. He is a decorated veteran and the former president of MTV Networks. He's climbed mountains, one of those being Mount Kilimanjaro. Without any further ado, let's get him in here.
Good evening, Doug. How are you?
Good
Excellent.
evening, Doug.
Excellent. Can you hear me all right?
We
You're
got
fine.
you 5 by 5.
Good. Proud to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're proud to have you. I'm guessing by looking at you, the war was Vietnam.
Yes.
Okay.
I was a 23-year-old infantry company commander commanding 158 men in the jungles and swamps and valleys and mountains of South Vietnam. It was a life-changing experience, to say the least.
Hey, my hat off to you, sir. My hat off to you. That was I have quite a few friends that were over there. A real close friend of mine. He was a door gunner, and yeah, life was not good.
It was tense. It was a real war. We had real people shooting at us.
Yes.
With good equipment.
Well, hey, Doug, I just went over just the highlights of your bio. You start from wherever you want to start and get us to where we are now.
Well, I've told these stories over the years, and they remain with me. And some of them are hard to tell, but some of them are easy. There's a lot of humor in the book, a lot of satire, but there's also a really gritty story. I was tired of watching these generals write these books about Vietnam, from 40,000 feet, how they're concerned about the domino effect. If you recall what that meant, domino effect was they were assuming all the small countries in the Southeast Asia area were going to fall to communism like dominoes. So we need to be over there. We need to be fighting back to save democracy and all of that. So this book is not about any of that. This book is what it's like to be a gravel grinder, a grunt. The guy on the ground. I mean, I was just like a private. I was only a first lieutenant. So I had these men reporting to me that were 18 years old, 18, 19. And all wars are fought by the young, lower middle class people. You never meet anybody out there from Harvard or, somebody with a Yale law degree.
No.
You see people from the lower middle classes, really, like I was. I was a steel mill kid. Grew up in the mills. My dad worked in the mills. My mother worked in a little ad agency, and that's where I got my start in, on the sales and advertising side. Was influenced by my mother. So this book really is. I like to say it's not for everybody. It really is, in a sense, because the stories are all American stories, and they're all true and they're all unique. But the reason I say they're not for everybody is the language is like I spoke it in 23 years old to these young guys. I had to talk the talk with them. And I had to save my main goal is to save their lives so they could go home to their families. And to do that, you have to more than match what you're facing. And we were mean. We were mean and tough. And we were well trained. We had great gear. We had great weapons. And so when you read this book, there are a lot of F-bombs in it, a lot of GDs, but that's the way you talk in war. You don't have time to think about it. You have to react to your experience and your training. Mm-hmm. So I'm so proud of the Vietnam vets that I fought with. But you know what? That book that who wrote it? Tom Brokaw, The Greatest Generation.
Yes.
World War II. That's not true. The World War II guys did one hell of a job. They really did. But the generation behind them was better. The Korean soldiers were unbelievable.
Yes.
They're highly trained. And then you get the Vietnam veterans. We were better than the Koreans. When I say not better human beings, but better soldiers, better fighters. We had better equipment. We were bigger. We were stronger. And those kids today that are now 18, 19 years old are the best we've ever had. I had dinner with 300 of them a couple of years ago. And it was a graduation for basic training that I was invited to as National Commander of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. And these kids they were big, they were tough, and they were ready to go to war, whether they had one or not. They were ready. And so every generation, I think, personally, is better than the one before. So So that's what I write about. I write about these people and myself and what it's like to be an inexperienced young man fighting in a war, I killed 200 people in one day in November 23rd, I think it was, in Thanksgiving Day in 1967. I called in a Phantom jet on our position to get the enemy away from us. We were outnumbered by my platoon at that time, we had 42 men in it. I was a platoon leader at that time before company commander. And so I called a jet in on the phone, and I told him where to drop those bombs, and it was right on us. And it worked. It drove them back. I don't think we had any deaths from it. One guy ran up to me holding his arm in his hand, and I mean, free in his hand, like here's my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nobody died that day, but it was a day to remember. And so this is what the book is all about. You know, what's it like to shoot somebody in the head? You know, what's it like to get blown up and die? I was dead for 10 or 15 minutes. They told me. Of course, I didn't know I was dead. So how would I know? But they told me that I was dead for about 10 or 15 minutes. And I went to the other side. I saw what's on the other side. You know what I saw?
What'd you see?
Nothing. There's nothing on the other side that I'm aware of. I didn't see anything. No bright light. I didn't meet Jesus. God wasn't there to take me into heaven. Satan was not there to drag me into hell for all the people that I killed. It was like a nice, pleasant sleep, warm, comfortable sleep. And that's all I remember. And then they woke me up. They stopped the bleeding, which helped me come back to life. And so this book is the fact it's an Amazon #1 bestseller is a shock to me. I didn't expect that at all. I want to go on a speaking tour and talk about my experiences. And the first thing out of everybody's mouth that knows that business said, "Do you have a book?" And at that time I said no, but now I can say yes. Not only do I have a book, I can say it's an Amazon #1 bestseller. So that's the reason I wrote it. And it's cathartic to get all this out.
Oh, yes.
I counsel vets almost every day that are all upset with PTSD and all the nightmares and everything that goes with it. Talk about it. Don't keep it inside of you. And so I do talk about it. I don't blush. I tell it the way it was. Exactly.
Good deal.
It was.
Good deal.
Well, see, that makes you stand out differently because I've met a lot of Vietnam vets where if you bring it up, the first thing to do is either walk away or grab a beer and just shut down. They don't want to talk about it at all.
PTSD is real. It's real. Yeah. I've seen guys fall down and can't get up. Mm-hmm. That's why they have these service dogs to help them get up. But so I have a deep feeling for these people. It's tough. You know, you're 18 years old. You know, you're still, I say they're a man, but you're still a young man, a very, very young man, and your brain is still coming together at 18. They say that you don't have your brain until you're like 20, 25. So it affects them.
Now, if you ever get out on one of those speaking tours and you get the chance to come to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, look us up because we're here. We are here.
So where do you live? You don't live on base. You live off base?
I live off base. I live up between Princeton and Cadiz, Kentucky.
Yeah. Okay. Kentucky boy.
I am now.
Well, they're fighters. Well, I'll tell you what, those Southerners, I'm from Chicago. We're tough, but we talk tougher than we really are. These Southern guys are really tough. And you see them in war, you got to hold them back.
Oh, nowadays, the old joke was when we first went into Iraq, it was to tell all the Southern boys that the Iraqis were responsible for the death of Dale Earnhardt.
Boy, Hey, that's a good one. I should have known that. Of course, Dale Earnhardt was probably 20 back then. His father.
His father.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, Douglas, we've already got a question for you.
Sure.
That popped in from one of our listeners. This here is from War Is No Fun. He said, Douglas, your journey from the battlefield to the boardroom is incredible. How did your military experiences shape your leadership style when you became the president of MTV Networks?
That's a great question.
Thank you for that question, War Is.
And that's a really good question, because I think about that a lot. I really do. And thank God for my Army experience. And like I said, a young man in charge of all those people and reporting to the colonel and having to work both sides of it. It was a hell of an education. And I really was very disciplined. It made me very disciplined out of necessity. And so when I joined the business world, first of all, the military fit me like a glove. I was in good shape. I played college baseball, high school baseball, and football. I went into the military in really good shape, which is a big deal because they put you to your test. They take everybody to their own personal highest level. So, you could take Michael Jordan and they work him up to Michael Jordan's top peak. So they're going to kill Michael Jordan too, just like they did me and everybody else. They really work you hard and you get this discipline. Well, when I went into business world, I took all of that with me, everything I learned from the military. And here I was, a 26-year-old guy going into the business world. I found it it fit me like a glove, just like the military did. Okay. So it really helped. The military disciplined me. I was fearless. At 29 years old, you can read in a book where I was a sales manager at a radio station in Houston, Texas. It happened to be owned by ABC. Mm-hmm. And we were doing so well. They wondered what the hell's going on in Houston. Check it out. Who is that down there? It's a Greenlaw guy. So they asked me to speak at the management meeting that fall in California. And here I was, a 29-year-old young man standing in front of all the senior executives of ABC Inc., including Leonard Goldenson, who was a founder, was in the front row right in front of me. And I wasn't nervous a bit. All I did was get out there and talk about like I'm talking now, and made a few funny stories from Vietnam. I didn't get into the gross things. I went into the effect it had on the leadership, and I ended up telling them that that war and the military made me understand the value of structure. I say and people. And understanding people and how to motivate them. And I said at the end of my speech that the ABC, I'm looking right at Goldenson right in front of me. In ABC, the people are more important than the structure of the company. Mm-hmm. If you didn't have good people, if you're not surrounded by good people, a company is just an empty building or a pack of a stack of directions on paper. Yeah. And they all my military helped me even in that speech. I got a reputation in the company, and things started taking off from there. And when you're in combat, killing people with your bare hands, which I did. I killed 7. At the time I killed 200. That was sort of off in the distance, and I didn't really. I went to the colonel told me to go take a body count. I got out there and I stopped at 70, and they were just all over the place. So I just rounded it up to 200. So I don't know how many were there, but it had to be at least 200. So anyway, I don't mean to get off tangent on you here, but it's a good question. It was invaluable to my civilian experiences. I was fearless. And I walk into a situation without it. My heartbeat would be exactly where it is normally. I don't get that excited.
All right. Now, while we're on the subject of MTV, I got a question. You're not the guy that I need to yell at because the headbanger's ball is gone, are you?
No, matter of fact, I was pushing for all those things. I wanted
Oh,
that.
man.
I wanted that type of entertainment. Where were you in 1981 when they launched it?
Well, I was still in high school. And,
Yeah, well, you were the top.
And the thing was, I lived out in the middle of nowhere, had 3 channels on the TV, but I had a friend in town that had cable. And on Friday nights, Mom would let me go to his house, and we would watch the concerts, you know, the metal concerts on MTV at night, and that was kind of the thing to do.
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot, and we aimed it at. I didn't get to MTV till 1985. I was there from 85 to 95. The 80s and 90s. It was the pinnacle of their success.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just enjoyed it so much. I thought many times, I can't believe I'm making all this money. They're paying me to do this. I would do this for nothing. And it was fun. It was exciting. We'd have a party for our advertisers in LA, and I'd write a check for $450,000. That's a lot of money back in the 90s.
Dude, that's a lot of money now.
Yeah, I think it is too. But we had, I had an unlimited budget. We were doing 30% a year in gain in profits and revenue every year I was there. It was just a wonderful time, and it helped me even to be a better executive CEO by the feeling that I had around these young people that worked at MTV. You know, the purple-haired kids that were doing the programming, and I was the guy driving the station wagon for them, and they're all in the back. So that's theoretically, but we had a great time. Great time.
Good deal.
And Jake, you were in high school? I was in grammar school. That makes you old. Just so you know.
Okay, I was in junior high school. Okay.
Well, I was in like 6th grade, so.
Well, I was probably 7th or 8th grade, but yeah.
The point I was getting to is we understood demographics, and you couldn't pin a demographic around MTV. It was tough because the music appealed to a lot of people. So we said, they said, and I helped them execute on this, is let's aim it at a person. Let's program the whole thing for one person. And it's a male, and he's 21 years old, still in college, probably senior in college.
Mm-hmm.
That was who we aimed it at. And, the young people all want to be 21. The old people want to be 21 again. So it worked. It worked. Everybody was either 21 or close to it.
That sounds like a good business model. Got another question here from My Dad is 87. You've climbed some of the world's most challenging mountains, from Kilimanjaro to
Aconcagua.
Yeah.
There you go.
I couldn't read it. How did those adventures compare to the challenges you faced in the business world? And thank you for that question. My Dad is 87.
How those challenges help me?
How do those adventures compare to the challenges you faced in the business world?
They were the same. Aconcagua is more difficult to climb than Mount Everest. Mount Everest is just high, but it's not a real hard climb. I've never climbed it, but I could. But I did Aconcagua, and we went to the peak, and Aconcagua is it wasn't formed by a volcano like Kilimanjaro was. You get to the top of Kilimanjaro and you look into a big volcano opening.
Yeah.
You get on top of Aconcagua, you're just more rocks, and it's made of stone and rocks. This is an actual comparison. I was climbing Aconcagua, and I got about half the way up, and I saw this rock. A stone rock, solid stone, was the size of the Empire State Building.
Holy cats.
That's how big Aconcagua is. And so we had to go around that rock, but we got up to the top, and we had 70-mile-an-hour winds. We had snow coming across from Chile in the Pacific Ocean across Chile. If you remember, Chile is a very narrow country, running down the length of the South America. Well, that Pacific warm air would come up over there and right up Aconcagua. So it snowed every day. And you had horizontal 70-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to 120. And it was a one hell of an experience. But it wasn't any difference than being at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in New York City with MTV. I mean, it was that exciting. It was more physical, but there's not as much difference between physical and mental when you get to a certain point, in my opinion.
No.
So,
no,
yeah, it helped. It helped. You got to have courage, and you have to not be afraid of heights. When you're walking along a piece of the ledge that's, maybe 12 inches, and right down from you is a 2,000-foot drop. So if you get blown off that, or lose your balance or something, it's all over. So it's a very dangerous mountain to climb, because you also have, on the way up, you have falling rock. Now the difference between Aconcagua and Kilimanjaro, Aconcagua is a pile of rocks, so you have to watch out for falling rocks. You don't have any falling rocks on Kilimanjaro. And when I say falling rocks, they are rocks from the size of a baseball to the size of a Volkswagen come down, and you have to be aware of it and give out a warning signal when you see it coming. And they're pretty easy to get out of the way, but if they fall, if you get a dozen of them that fall, or one big one makes a lot of them come down, it's a little scary.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is. You learn to do that, and you could do it. And now I've got another one planned that you two can do with me. Are you ready?
Where to?
We're going to fly. We're going to fly to Norway, and we're going to climb to it. We're going to fly to Norway, take a small airplane to northern Norway. You'd be surprised how far Norway goes, all the way up into the Arctic. And we're going to cross-country ski from Norway to the North Pole. It's 150 miles. Now, the good news is a helicopter comes and gets us and takes us back. It's a one-way climb. It's not a climb really, but it's and you could do it. It's cold, but you can dress for cold.
It's cold.
Dress for cold. But it's not that dangerous. It's only dangerous when you come across open water, which you do, but you just walk around it.
What about them big white four-legged things that's up there?
You carry a 45 on your side. I'm pretty good with my 45. So there are those polar bears. They're the biggest bear you don't realize how big they are. It's the biggest bear in the world.
Yeah, they are.
They're bigger than grizzly bears. They're huge. And they look so nice and friendly, Boy, they're fearsome. I never saw one, but I've heard guys that have done the trip. You're bound to see one because they'll smell you from miles away.
Well, and I've talked to guys that are kind of adventurers and go up in that area and stuff. He said that polar bears think that people are slow seals.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good one. Wish I'd use that one. I'm going to use that one.
Hey, feel free. I don't own it.
And seals are fast. They're fast. Yes. Seals are faster than we are. So anyway, that's the mountain climbing is a great experience, but it's also it's life-changing. You get up on top of those mountains. It's unbelievable.
Oh, I understand. I take most of my adventures now on horseback.
That's good. That's not easy.
There's and that's kind of a thing me and my wife wanted. We want to go out west and do some horse muleback riding up in the mountains. And
There's a good one on what's that? There's another mountain. I can't think of it right now, but you can take mules to the top of it.
Okay.
So you don't have to do the climbing. The mule does it for you.
Cool.
That's why they're here. Oh, hey, we're going to take a minute to honor Army Captain Jennifer Moreno. She died on October 6, 2013, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom 25. She was 25 years old, San Diego, California, and she was assigned to Madigan Army Medical Center at Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington. She died October 6th in the Zari district in Afghanistan of injuries sustained when enemy forces attacked her unit with an improvised explosive device, and also killed in the incident were Sergeant Patrick Hawkins, Sergeant Joseph Peters, and PFC Cody Patterson. We salute y'all and thank you for your service to our great nation.
I agree with you 100%. See, now when I read that with you, it made me think just how really gruesome. So you didn't see any gruesomeness there. I mean, she got killed. Okay. Now, what's she look like? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. It's not pretty.
No,
it's ugly. Everybody, I always scoff at when I hear a report like on the evening news. Well, it's 3 people were killed and 14 were wounded. Well, at least they were wounded. You know, there wasn't that many people killed, but you know, those wounded people, you know, a catastrophic wound. You've seen them, the guys with no faces, no ears,
yes,
no fingers, the guys that get into burns, and the wounds are so graphic, and my scars are all under my shirt and pants, so I'm fortunate there. But when I look at something like that statement, my mind flashes to what she looked like. You don't want to hear about it. It's horrible.
No.
It's horrible. No. So keep that in mind when you see that.
Yeah. War is an ugly business.
It's the worst. And it's usually for not a really great cause when you look back at it, when it's over.
No.
Like Afghanistan, like Vietnam. They all have their weaknesses. So but it's real to the people that are in it.
Yes. Yes.
We have another question in for you, sir.
Another question for me.
From Memory of U-Boat. Your book, Forged by Lightning, has inspired so many people. What was the most challenging part of sharing your personal and professional journey with the world? Memory of U-Boat for that?
Yeah, that's a blow to get that question. That's because you don't really want to talk about this stuff, especially the graphic parts, like what is it like to shoot a guy in the head? You know, and I do that graphically to tell you that this is war. It's nothing to be. It's not it's not a happy place. It's nothing to be proud of. You're not proud of being in war. You're not proud of killing people. It's ugly. It's horrifying, and it's dangerous. So let's keep that in mind. So when I wrote this book, I wrote it quickly because you'll read it. If you read it, you'll see it's written in a narrative. Picture me narrating this book, because it's all my personal experiences, all the way from being struck by lightning when I was 13 to all the way up through the Vietnam situation into MTV and even higher than MTV. It's some of it in the later years is easier to talk about, but those years in that year, well, not even a year, the 9 months of mine in Vietnam are hard to talk about. So it's hard to write. But I buckled down and I said, damn it, I'm not going to make this sound like some general wrote it. I want them to know that I left all the F-bombs in there and all the GDs, and I like the way I talk to these young men, the only way they listen to me. And so that's the way I wrote the book. And it's cathartic in one way, but it's upsetting and others. I still go back to it myself and read a chapter once in a while. It's 57 chapters that are all 57 stories. And then I tie them together with how we all have these stories. You have them as well as I do. And you got more of them coming. I don't know what they're going to be, but some of them will be bad and some of them will be good. And fortunately, there are a lot more good events than there are bad. And the bad ones are pretty easy. You just put them behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Go forward. Don't focus on that. Don't focus on those problems. Move forward. Learn from them, but don't focus on them. And the good ones are the hard ones, because when it's good, you need to work really hard, work your ass off to bring good to great.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
I'm looking forward to cracking it open. I'm in the middle of another book right now, and I've got a copy of your book, and I'm looking forward to cracking it open. It seems to me like it's going to be along the lines of one of the other books I read about Vietnam was I think it was called The Things They Carried.
Yeah, right.
And then when I was I think I was a senior in high school, I read The Man in the Gray Flannel Suit about the veterans of World War II.
Yeah.
And and I'm thinking yours is probably going to be along that lines, if not a little more of.
Well, it's a lot more. I read that book.
More graphic.
It's mine is a lot more graphic than that. Now, it doesn't start off graphic. I was a little kid. I take it from when I was struck by lightning as sort of the start of the book. And so I was just a kid. So my language was totally under control in the beginning of the book. But as I got older and being a steel mill kid, we swore all the time anyway, is called ourselves mill rats, because we all turned gray from the dust in the mills. And we were wild and out of control. That's why the Army helped me so much. It shaped me up.
Yes.
Those steel mills are an experience in themselves.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I come from a long line of coal miners. So,
there you go. Same deal. Different situation, but all the same. You went through the same things.
Yes.
So, my father worked in the mills, and I worked in the mills in high school from 16, 17, the summers of my 16th, 17th, and 18th birthdays. And you had to be 18 to work there. Mm-hmm. So I just lied to them. And they said, how old are you? I said, 18. They said, okay, write it down. They didn't care. They didn't have, they didn't have HR departments back in those days. They just, if you said you're 18, put him on the line.
Yeah. They just needed a body.
Yeah.
Got another question here for you from Bill Me Later. As someone who made a significant impact in the entertainment industry, how do you see the evolution of media today compared to your time at the MTV Networks?
Boy. Probably, I imagine it's exactly the way you guys see it, and the caller sees it. I see it out of control. There's an interesting video out there that everybody in America should watch. And it's this stand-up comedian does a comparison. Remember that song from the 40s, Baby It's Cold Outside? Remember that song?
Yes.
It's cold outside. And da-da-da-da.
Love that song.
You know that song has been banned?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it says a little rapey. Rapey, and the man was dominating over the woman. He was pushy. Well, this standing comedian said, I just thought it'd be an interesting idea. I'm not going to say any of these words, but he held in one hand, he had the lyrics to Baby It's Cold Outside. And then the other hand, he had the lyrics from WAP singing her hits. And this was a hit for 3 months.
Yes.
In America for 3 months. He read the lyrics, comparing back and forth. You can go online on Google and you can look it up. You won't believe it.
Oh yeah, I will. I've listened to that song, and
that's I sort of feel like that. I think that we got to have a snap back at some point, where we snap back in thinking. But and it's happening with all this DEI stuff and all that. It's starting to come back a little bit, but it's way out there, out of control. And I would tell the viewer or whoever just called in, I'm starting to sound like my father. That damn Elvis Presley jiggling his hips like that. That's really, I'm starting to sound like that. But it's true. It's out of control. The language and this, it's just the culture is so bad.
He probably didn't complain about how short Connie Francis's skirts was, though, did he?
No, that was fine. So anyway, it was it's bad. It's bad. I think and I believe there will be over the next 10 years a snapback, and we're going to have another decade, maybe in the in the next decade might be similar to the 1950s. Not that similar, but it'll have similarities to it, where reason comes back into it. The WAPs of the world will be gone.
Okay. Got another question here, man. We got them rolling in tonight from 5150 Popo. You've achieved so much, from military awards to corporate success. What advice would you give to young leaders who want to overcome adversity and build their own legacy?
Boy, you got some great questions.
Thank you for that question.
Got some great questions coming in here.
We have some great lessons, great people watching us. That's why.
Yeah, that's it. This is, you can tell. I would like. Can you read that again one more time to me? I can read it. Military corps. I got a great story for you. I used to get this all the time when I was at MTV. I'd be out somewhere speaking, or in LA or something, and these young people would come up to me. When I say young, I was in my mid-40s at this time. Young people in their 20s would always come up to me many times and say, "Boy, you're president of MTV? Wow, that's the best job in America. I want your job. I want to be president of MTV." And I said, "Well, you can be president of MTV, but you have to do what I did to get here to do what I do." And so I would answer that question by saying, I graduated from Indiana University. I came back from the war, finished my college degree, got my college degree, went back out and got a job at a radio station in Indianapolis, Indiana. It was a big rock and roll station, real popular. And I got an appointment with the sales manager, and I said, "I'd like to work for you." And he said, "Well, we've got 12 salespeople here. We're booked. We don't have any room for another person." And I said, "Okay, well, give me a desk. Don't pay me a penny. Give me the accounts that the other guys can't sell. And in 18 months, I'll be your top salesman. Just pay me a straight commission." And the guy looked at me and he said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, that was a good station. I couldn't find a better station than that." So he hired me, or he brought me in. And in a year, I was, out of 12 salespeople, in a year I was third in leading sales. I didn't make it to top, but that was a year. And I did by working my ass off. And I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I always outwork all of them, even today. So I would say, take a low-level job in the arena where you want to be. Work for nothing if you have to, and then you get your foot in the door and build your case from there. That's what you do. That's what I did, and I'm no different than any of us. I'm no different than anybody. I'm a steel mill kid, the lower middle classes. So if I can do it, they can do it.
Awesome. You know what? My dad never allowed the word "can't" in the house. And he said, if you can put your mind to it, you can do anything. And great words to live by. Really? Doug, we're getting to a point in our show right now where I'm going to ask you a question here. And we always ask three things of our guests. And what I ask is, what are three non-negotiables for you every day when you wake up?
I would say tell the truth would be number one.
Okay.
Even if it's bad, give the bad news too. And I've got a trick that I'll give to all your people on this one. I call it a shit sandwich. I give you I say, look, you're a great guy. You're one of the top people in my life, and I believe in you. You're going to do fantastic, but you got to do this. You got to do this, this, and this, or you're never going to make it. But I'm so proud of you to make it from here, where you were, to where you are today. You're a success, and the shit's in the middle. So
yes,
you can't be. Donald Trump. I've been with him twice. He's narcissistic. He really is. He is not. He is not a nice person, but he knows it. He understands it. He said, "I can't help." He told me face to face. He said, "I know what you're thinking because based on what I just said, but I can't help myself. I take after my father. My father was like that, and I'm like that. So I just have to live with it. So certain things are bad, and you shouldn't do. I would never act like that. But he's got his own way. He's a billionaire. He did it basically on his own.
Yeah.
So that would be my answer. Just tell the truth, good, bad, or indifferent. Tell the truth.
Okay. All right.
The second one is what?
Shit sandwich.
Well, you're.
Oh, that was part of tell the truth.
Yeah, that was part of just three things that you have to do every day. So one of them is tell the truth.
I'd say second would be healthy. Okay. And work out and take care of yourself, and live a ripe old age if it's possible. But every day I take care of myself. I eat right. I don't smoke. I drink a little bit. I'll have a glass of wine with you guys, or even take a shot. But I don't drink a lot, and I'm in good shape. So that would be 2. 3, select a good woman to marry, because it's so important to your life. She gives you the children. She gives you her strength and support. It's so important to have a good woman.
All right.
Those are my 3.
That sounds like sound advice. Well, hey.
Yes, it does.
Listeners and Misfit Nation, ToosDay Crue followers, the book is Forged by Lightning. The author is Doug Greenlaw. It sounds like it is. Yeah, there it is. Forged in Lightning, or Forged by Lightning. Yeah. I'm sorry. Forged by Lightning.
Got the badge on there for bestseller, and it looks like the lightning bolt that struck me when I was 13. So it's literal. I was actually forged by lightning. Literally.
And we got it. We got your website pulled up there. The Greenlaw Foundation.org.
That's it. Yeah, I raise money for veterans.
Okay, and we appreciate that. And now I'm sure if somebody wanted to contact you, they could do it through that website.
Yes.
Okay.
I've got an email address. It's my name. It's an easy one. My email address is my name, Douglas Greenlaw at AOL.com.
Okay, Douglas Greenlaw at AOL.com. Well, Doug, I've enjoyed your story. I can't wait to read the book. I really can't. And I
hope you enjoy it. It's supposed to be enjoyable. I mean, I tell it. I put a lot of shit sandwiches in there. I try to clean it up a little bit after I'd gone through some bad things. So,
all right. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to say, I'm not comparing you by any ways, but I've read James Joyce, so I can read about anything.
Oh,
so,
this is not Ulysses. This is not Ulysses. You don't have to read.
And not for nothing, the best stories are the ones that aren't sugar-coated. Tell the story the way it is.
Tell the story.
Nobody wants to hear it falsified and, make it kinder, gentler. Tell the damn story.
That's it.
And that's what you did.
Thank you.
That,
That's exactly what I
that
tried
should
to
make
do.
it a good read.
And it's still selling like hotcakes on Amazon. So it's holding its own. So I'm happy about that.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Well, hey, Misfit Nation, thank you for joining the ToosDay Crue tonight. Remember to like and share, subscribe. If you're in that dark place, if you're in that hole, just like we said on the opening, dial 988, take option 1. And our email addresses are in the chat. If you need somebody to talk to, email me.
Send an email.
Send me an email. I'll call you.
Yes.
Good for you.
And because we want you here tomorrow. We want to see you here tomorrow. We want to see you next Tuesday.
And
well, Misfit
hopefully
Nation,
our answers came across to people asking us personal questions. We popped them up on the screen. We're going to get to all of you tonight. I apologize. But Doug, thank you for hanging with us. It was great talking with you.
Honor to talk to you and your people.
All
Thank
right. Keep doing good things. And
I'm going to try. I'll try.
And if you get on a speaking tour to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, look us up.
I will. Are you both there?
Well,
No.
Myself and the producer, Rich, we're both there.
Okay.
And we still work there every day. So we're
good for you.
We're a couple of those dirty ass contractors.
You better be careful. Trump will fire you. Elon Musk, you get the hell out of his way.
Yeah. Well, hey, Misfit Nation, we love you, and we will see you next time. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you
Good
very
night,
much.
everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
We're all soldiers. You need to know what the price is going to be a soldier. Once the fighting starts, there's only winning or losing, living or dying. You know it when you signed up. If you didn't, you were fooling yourself. Combat, there is no Democrat, Republican, black, white. You know, there's friend and enemy, and people dying.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.